costume, but the cat suit.
How was that suit? Tell me.
It was not great.
So the whole thing goes on sort of like a very large pair of pantyhose. Only a little more complicated.
I was always freezing because it was thin. It was pretty thin.
Oh, wow.
The corset was not very comfortable, so bending was not the most comfortable, and yeah, but it was a whole thing. But I don't have that anymore.
We are back with our 7 of 9. I'm trying to adjust my camera here and try to, I don't think I can get all of her in the shot. But we've got the head done now and it's attached to her body. I'm starting to work on her hands. I worked on this a little bit yesterday after I got done with the head and had it attached to her body. Got to still do some more work on the glove and then we can attach her hand, and then got the other one painted. Just has to be a clear put on it, a flat clear, but that's been painted, so almost ready to get the hands attached. I hope they get them attached today. But I'm going to go over, first I'll go over the paints I used. As I said in my last video, this is the first time I've tried to paint blonde hair. Of course, you know, as a kid, blonde hair wasn't an issue. You just found some yellow and you had blonde hair. But this time I hope to do a little better job than when I was a kid. And so we have a lot of colors here. This was an adventure in hair coloring, but it actually was a good thing because it kind of really helped me understand blonde hair a little better. I got online and I downloaded a couple articles on how to paint blonde hair, depending on the type of blonde hair you were looking for, whether it was a regular blonde, like a dirty blonde, or a platinum blonde, or whatever. But the articles really helped me understand better what my goal was to get the blonde hair look, I guess. So anyway, after reading the article, I thought, okay, time to do it. So first color, well, first thing we did, let me back up. First thing we did is after we primed the head is paint the entire thing, hair and all, in barbarian flesh. And I went with that because I was reading an article on hair coloring, another article on skin tones. A lot of people seem to have good luck starting with a base of barbarian flesh. Now, the guy didn't say what brand. This is Army War Painter. I thought, oh, I would give it a go. Oh, what the hell. So anyway, I did the entire thing in barbarian flesh as the base flesh color. That's our first color. And then when it's dry, I went over with the Vallejo Game Air flesh, just plain old flesh. And that did give me a nice, I think it got me a good tone for her skin tone, which is a fair to medium kind of skin tone. I think it did a pretty good job. So once we got that all done, I cleared it with flat coat and started working with the hair first. Her hair was, I noticed after looking at pictures that I printed out and downloaded for reference, was more on the brown side, and I wanted to get her hair coloring close. So to start off with the base color that was more on the brown side of yellow, I used this XF59 Desert Yellow, which was a great base color to start off with. So we did the entire hair in this base color, and then I simply took War Painter, this Corpse Pale, which is like a white and ivory, with a little bit of, again, toward the brown side, and just kept mixing these two colors to get different versions of this color from dark to light, and then just kept layering the hair. I would mix me up some color, apply it, seal it, just kept lightening the color up a little bit with the Corpse Pale, with this being the base color, and just kept doing it over and over and over until I was happy with the final coloring. Then I cleared it all, and then I went with the light buttermilk on the front here, or like a highlight, basically just a highlight, and went over the hair highlights with the light buttermilk. So basically those are our 3 colors of our blonde hair. We got the desert yellow, corpse pale, and light buttermilk. And then to give it some depth, because without that it's going to look too flat, to give the hair some depth, I went back over in areas with a strong tone ink, which is a brown based ink, and I went in her hair, and it also went all around the hairline to define the hair a little bit more, because without defining that hairline with some kind of dark color, the flesh kind of blends into the hair, and you get, again, that flat look. So what this does is kind of bring this, separates the hair from the head basically, kind of gives it some definition and really makes the hair stand out against the face, so it's not so flat looking. So that's what we did there. So that's pretty much the hair. Just 3 colors, an ink wash, a brown ink wash, and a real light pale yellow highlight, and that covers her hair. The head, or the face, as I said, we used just plain old Vallejo flesh tone. I did use chalks basically for her makeup to redden the cheeks, to whiten the forehead and bridge of the nose. I used white chalk. The cheeks are a combination of pink and red with just a little bit of brown below the cheekbones to kind of bring them out a bit. The chin has a little bit of white chalk on it to kind of get some light reflection going on there, like we did the forehead and the bridge. The lips are flesh tone, flesh wash by Army Painter. I'm going over with a dry brushing of dark pink, well, medium to dark pink that I mixed up, just using the rust red and a little bit of off-white, and did her lips. And then once the coloring was on there, I went back again with a flesh wash to give it the definition of the lips there, the mouth. So that's that. And then as I said, the makeup is all pastels. The eyes are Archer decals, because I just cannot do eyes. So thank God for Archer decals. Those are Archer decals. Those are 3mm. I couldn't really find a size that looked right, so I had to go a little bigger and just cut to fit the eye area, because I don't know what's the size below, I don't remember. 2.6 was too small, so I went up to 3mm and used a 3mm instead. And then, as I said, just kind of to fit the eye. So that's of course the blue, because she had blue eyes, so that's the Archer decals. The eye itself, I painted them the same buttermilk. You never want to use pure white on the eyes, it's a little too stark. I used buttermilk on the eye and then went over the eye with a pink wash to make the, let it pull down there in the corners to make the tear ducts, and then the pink on the lower eyelid there on the inside. And then when that was done, I went back over the eye with just a light dry brushing of the light buttermilk, because we didn't want our eyes to look bloodshot. So we went over that. I featured the eyes, put the eyebrow or the eyelashes in, which that was fun, because again my hand is not steady, and even that was an effort. It took me quite a while to get the eyelashes on. Put the eyelashes on, put the eyebrow in, which using the same coloring on her hair for the eyebrow, because the other one's covered up by the Borg implant. And then put the decals on and featured them again, seal everything up, and that's how we did the eyes. Pretty easy peasy. But that's it. I think we've gone along enough. Hope you like it. I'm happy with it for my first attempt at blonde hair. I'm pretty happy with it. Alright guys, take care. We will see you in our next update. Knock on wood. Well, knock on MDF actually.